the 3 stages of love and sex. People often think that the start of a relationship is the best part. People have a lot of sex, talk, bond, share, and look into each other's eyes. It's a very enticing time that feels like magic when we're in the middle of it, and the fact that it's addicting seems to explain why sexual desire is so strong at the start of a relationship. As our relationship gets stronger, these sexual feelings and our drive tend to get weaker. Many people don't understand why. If 2 people are in love and truly love each other, desire can fade. And more importantly, does your low libido mean that your relationship is over? It tells a different story, one in which sexual desire can be boosted if it's low or brought back if it's been lost. There are ways to rekindle sexual desire in a long-term relationship, and one of them is to figure out why sexual desire was strong at the beginning. Because thinking you've lost love or are doomed because your desire has gone down is a bit of a myth about why couples stop having sex. The strong sexual drive in a new relationship can be explained by 3 stages of love. The 3 stages of love and what you need to know about them. Helen Fisher, a linguist, says that falling in love goes through 3 steps. It is thought that certain hormones and chemical changes in the brain drive each step. Lust is the first step in love. Lust is when you want someone sexually and want to jump into bed with them right away. The chemicals testosterone and estrogen tell us a lot about this time. Most people think that testosterone is the hormone that drives men's libido. But testosterone makes all people more sexually interested. And some people think it's even more important to a woman's desire than a man's. Attraction is the second stage of love. The reward center of the brain is where feelings of love are made. It's thought that this is why we feel so in love and infatuated at the start of a relationship. We're getting praised all the time. Dopamine, norepinephrine, and serotonin are in charge of the engagement stage of love. When we do things that make us feel good, our brains make dopamine. Having sex is one of these things. Dopamine and norepinephrine can both make us feel a little bit high. When they leave our bodies, we feel happy and full of energy. Things like eating and sleeping can become hard all of a sudden. At this point, we also have less serotonin, which is a hormone that controls things like hunger and happiness. Serotonin levels are lower in people with obsessive-compulsive disorder, OCD, which is an interesting fact. This has made experts wonder if the obsession that can happen during the attraction part of a relationship is caused by low serotonin levels. Even when we get to the 3rd stage, lust and love can last forever for a lucky few. And this is why they have a lot of sexual love and desire for each other. But lust and interest usually last from 6 months to 2.5 years, which brings us to the 3rd and last stage of love, commitment. Attachment is the 3rd stage of love. The hormones oxytocin and vasopressin are in charge of this 3rd and last stage. Oxytocin is made when you have sex, usually after you have an orgasm. It's called the bonding hormone or the cuddle hormone because it's thought that when it's released, it makes us feel closer to each other. Even more, cuddling after sex can help us feel even more connected and happy in our relationship. It's clear that this last and final stage isn't so much about sexual desire or sexual excitement as it is about getting closer emotionally. This helps to explain why we have a lot of sexual drive at the start of a relationship but less as time goes on. The 3 stages of love are interesting and important, but as a sex therapist, I've found that the first 2 stages, lust and desire, aren't so easy to separate. Attraction seems to come before sexual desire most of the time, which goes against Helen Fisher's idea that sexual desire comes before attraction. You meet someone who is attractive to you because of how they look, smell, or act, and that makes you want to have sex with them. Even though hormones and neurotransmitters play a role in sexual desire, this isn't the whole story. This is good news because it means you can get your sex drive back even if you've lost it for a while. Sexual activity is a way for people to connect with each other. Sex helps a couple feel good about each other while they're raising their kids, which is so much more than just getting pregnant. People may not have known about dads in ancient times, so everyone felt responsible for helping the women raise their children. It's also possible that they all had sex together. This idea is discussed in depth in the book Sex at Dawn. So, because we have big brains, we have had to change in order to have good sex. Luckily, this big brain of ours does more than one thing. Not only does it force us to have good sex, but it also gives us the tools to do so. Our huge brains let us think, plan, dream, and be creative, all of which are important for good sex.